Hey everybody, welcome back to Tropical Freeze, and today I am joined by...
Artix. Hi, my name is, Blind Sally.
So what is your experience with this game, Blind Sally?
This one in particular, absolute zero. I have not played a retro Donkey Kong.
Alright, you've played the originals though, I understand?
Yes, I have. DK's Country 1 through 3, I played the original Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., and I played more Donkey Kong 64 than is healthy for a human being, but there you go.
You know, I understand that feeling. I've heard there are support groups for that, I don't know how good they are.
I almost collected everything.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. But, anyway, so yeah, World 4 is, the water world, as you can tell. Water worlds work, very differently in this game than they do in the original DKC games.
Yeah, this is very strange for me, watching right now. You're doing things that shouldn't be physically possible in a Donkey Kong game.
So, yeah, I guess I don't think we ever really sat down and talked mechanically about how swimming works. You do have full 360-degree control, and you have that little spinning attack, which allows you to hurt things underwater, and it, gives you a quick little boost of speed. And you also have an oxygen meter, which is that little blue meter that shows up next to your health when you're underwater, which is definitely one of the biggest things I do not like about this game. I don't know why they felt an oxygen meter was a good addition, but I don't know, c'est la vie, I guess.
Back in my day, Donkey Kong swam on a horizontal plane, and because he didn't move around a lot, he was able to actually breathe water. I think this whole 360-degree motion thing he's overexerting himself, right?
Yeah. And speaking of another big change, you would think that, given that this being the game, they're like, yeah, water levels are back, you would think this would be prime example of when to bring back On Guard. But no, our sword buddy is nowhere to be seen.
That's a huge missed opportunity. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I mean, I know that retro in general doesn't seem to be too big on the animal buddies, but yeah, if there was ever a time when it was like yelling yes, this is an On Guard moment, and just nothing.
To be fair, in adding that spinning thrust attack, they have effectively, made On Guard redundant. He's no longer needed, really. Donkey Kong can now do what On Guard did.
I mean, that's true, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been a cute moment anyway. I still would have done it.
I just want to point out that I feel nostalgia rushing over me, or I did at least until you went into the bonus room, but Aquatic Ambiance had just kicked in as we went into that area. Arguably the best track off of the original Donkey Kong Country.
I can agree with that. The original Donkey Kong soundtrack is not... I mean, it's good, but not nearly as good as what David Wise did for DKC 2, so...
Donkey Kong Country 2 is superior, but Aquatic Ambience, I feel like that could have been like a Donkey Kong Country 2 track. It's so good.
But yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you like that, because you're going to be hearing a lot of that.
Good. And I'm glad, because I'm one of those guys who like listening to remixes of songs on the YouTube of various video game tracks, and I have heard dozens, and I mean dozens, of remixes of Aquatic Ambiance, or Sticker Brush Symphony, or you name it, Forced Interlude, whatever, all the tracks. I've heard dozens of them. Metal remixes, electronic remixes, dance remixes, dub remixes, country remixes, folk remixes, acoustic remixes. I've heard them all. I've listened to the 10-hour Aquatic Ambiance track while studying for classes, and I listened to all 10 hours. So
that's dedication. I'm not gonna lie.
I did other things. I think I napped through part of it, but I played the whole 10 hours.
But yeah, so this level's gimmick is pretty self-explanatory. You have these little, yellow sphere things, and as you swim through them, it will either turn the power on or off to whatever level stage hazard is in the way of where you're going.
Are they timed? So, like, if you don't touch all the yellow lights fast enough, do they unlight?
I think that's the case, but the timer for it is really generous.
Ah, well then. Oh, hey, here's a question. So I know you have your different buddies. Do you get different swimming abilities if you have a different buddy?
You do. Dixie, I mean, as, you know, we've discussed with a lot of the secret exits, Dixie gives you the ability to swim through the jet streams, which gives you a little, it's a slight increase in your swimming speed in general.
Right, because her hair is a propeller. Right?
Yeah, yes,
right.
don't ask questions. And Diddy gives you a very quick burst in one direction. So, like, you will shoot off very quickly in, like, one plane, but that's about all it gets you.
So, yeah, that line right there would be a perfect time to play a single bar of one of One Direction's greatest hits or something. Just saying. Add in some music. And add in a joke counter.
What does this look like, an abandoned LP?
It's too bad Dixie didn't come with a peanut gun or something. Or did he, I should say.
He actually does have the peanut gun.
No, he doesn't, really?
Yeah, he does.
Why?
There is a mode later on where you can play as, like, a solo Kong, and if you play as Diddy, when he does the ground pound, he shoots the pop guns.
So it's like Kong of Duty. Heyo. The question is how long I've been sitting on that one. The answer is 2 weeks. I wrote it and I've been waiting to use it. Thank you for this moment, Artix.
Alright, so this right here is probably the single most obtuse hidden exit in the entire game, I think. The gist of what it is, you have to come up here, you have to turn the power off, and then you have to go back through this jet stream, because by rerouting the power in that previous room, it made this thing fall out.
It's like Donkey Kong Country level of obtuseness. Jump down this space between the trees to find a bonus barrel. No bananas to market. I noticed that portal had, like, magic runes on it. I'm guessing there's an ancient civilization somewhere that, you're using their technology or something.
Whoops, that was an editing fuck-up. So yeah, welcome to 4.2. It's a minecart level.
So who built this massive contraption? Is this we are in Donkey Kong's country, yes? This is his Banana Republic, so to speak.
Actually, no. What has happened is when the Snowmads invaded at the beginning of the game, they actually blew him off of his island, and that we are now fighting our way back to it.
Ah, so this is their island, and we're currently in the guerrilla warfare, no pun intended, aspect.
Yes, we are in fact quite literally fighting our way through the Snowmads. And oh yeah, by the way, this introduces a track mechanic.
This looks terrible. This looks like someone wanted to play around with the camera, and so they shoehorned in the most annoying angle possible to make it cinematic.
Oh, the angle thing that's just retro. They're bad about that in this game.
I don't like it. They don't even have like there's not even like a light shadow beneath Donkey Kong to show which track he's on. I mean, between two tracks, it's not such a big deal, but I'm guessing they're gonna throw a third or a fourth track at you as well.
Yeah, things get a little complex at the end. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, this is not DK Island. We are slowly working our way back to the DK Island, but we're just ransacking all of the islands that we get, you know, along the way.
Guerrilla warfare.
Yes, this is quite literally warfare by a gorilla.
Yeah, that death you just ate looks like That's the sort of frustration I would expect from this sort of camera angle. Whose sides are the pigs on? Are they soldiers of Kong or?
Yes, the pigs are on the Kong side.
Okay. Yeah, see this angle. This is fine. Throw me lots of tracks here. This is all right. That weird what would you call that? Like 2.5D angle you got?
Yeah, like that, like the over the shoulder angle.
Yeah. I expected Dominic Santiago to come out and tell me to get to cover, but that didn't happen.
You know, it's kind of a shame, though, because I do really, for the most part, I really like the minecart levels in this game, but yeah, this is definitely one of the worst ones.
I just had a horrible thought. Knowing that the DK crew have, like, melon guns and coconut guns from Donkey Kong 64, they could do a Kongs of War knockoff and have a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter. Why not, right? It could be like, remember like adventure games in the N64? They always had like shoehorned minigame levels in, like a Donkey Kong 64, the Kirby game for the N64. I can't remember. I think it was just Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards. But there was always these shoehorned like multiplayer games that were like really bad Mario Party knockoffs. Just throw in a Gears of War clone.
I mean, they said it wouldn't be the first time. Banjo had first-person shooter sections in Banjo-Tooie.
You know, I never actually played Banjo-Tooie. Did I dodge a bullet?
I don't know. I liked it, but it definitely suffers from the problem of just more is better, and like the levels have a lot of interconnectivity and back and forth. So
in that regard, Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong 64, I should say, was really more Banjo-Kazooie 3. Just more.
Yes, except that it actually came out before Tooie.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, DK64 was 99.
Oh.
Also, we've been talking over this magnificent remix of Lockjaw's Locker.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was a missed opportunity with Retro. I think I've heard one original water track so far. Every other track so far has been a remix, and I feel like, yeah, nostalgia's great, and I love hearing YouTube remixes, but a new Donkey Kong game, like, here's an opportunity to create new nostalgia, right? To create new songs that kids 20 years from now will be posting about on YouTube saying, oh my god, I love this song so much, this is my favorite memory from my childhood. And instead, we're getting remixes of those songs that already exist and people are already posting about. Where's my new aquatic ambiance?
That's fair. Believe me, that is a fair complaint. Although I will say that, at least in Retro's defense, I guess.
In retrospect? Sorry, I couldn't help it.
But yeah, like, at least in Retro's defense, it's not like it's just, you know, like, with the first returns, the composer was actually the Metroid Prime guy, and at times it was a little weird, but, like, for Tropical Freeze, like, this is actually David Wise himself, so...
Right. Okay.
It's at least, you know, he's doing his own songs.
That's alright.
Although I imagine that a lot of these are what they probably would have sounded like to begin with if, you know, the SNES could support this kind of instrumentation.
Yeah, that's the feeling I've been getting. These remixes are fine, but they're not really jumping out to me as anything spectacular. Not like that one really good trance remix of Aquatic Ambience that I heard. Or that piano cover of Sticker Brush Symphony. So good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Could you imagine, though, the guy that did Prime, like, If we had like a Congo jungle drifts, like, you know, Fendrana?
Yeah, Fendrana drifts.
Yeah, Fendrana drifts, like the Congo jungle equivalent.
That would be really good. I think David Wise does a really good job with the ice themes that he does come up with later, but
Right.
yeah, no, I feel like a little Fendrana drifts would have been really nice.
Question, I don't think it got answered. I know what powers you get when you have Dixie or Diddy as a swimming companion. What does Cranky give you?
He can swing his cane, which you know, like, since he is literally Scrooge McDuck, it works pretty much on the same thing. It lets you hit things like the spinies.
Okay, I was gonna say, what's the point of having an attack if Donkey Kong can, like, do a spin attack? But yeah, hitting spikes makes sense.
It's not really very useful, frankly, because most of the time you were either going to avoid it anyway, or, you know, you were just going to barrel straight through it and it wasn't going to matter.
Right, barrel straight through it. Good one, Artix. I approve. So what's with Cranky at the end of the level? Why is he smiling? Like, I feel like this is not my Donkey Kong, you know? Like, he's too spry and cheery and...
You know, I actually do agree with you on that front. I think Cranky is far too excited to be going on this adventure.
He should be scowling disapprovingly, even when Donkey does something right. Like, he should frown and slap him and, hey, hello, artistic license.
Yeah, so this is this world's silhouette level, and it has, I think it has a really good gimmick. So those little fish, when you go near them, they will scatter and light things up, which causes the red tentacles to the red sea anemones, I think they are. They retract then.
Hey, do we have an original track in the background?
We do. This is, I think, I don't know if it's the only, but it's definitely the most notable original water track in the game.
I appreciate the accordion. I liked the little piano bit in the beginning, but it's not drawing me in as much as some of Weiss's other tracks.
Yeah, so right here I realized I forgot the K. The reason I missed it is because I swear that I got it. I swam, like, right past it and must have missed it by pixels. Like, you can go back and see it if you want to. It was, like, right at the start of the level.
Okay, I'll go back right now.
Yes, do it.
Okay, I'm scrubbing the video as we speak. I'm not actually. This background's pretty cool. I appreciate the phosphorescent? Yeah, phosphorescent starfish and seaweed in the background. And hello, precursor artifact. Is this was that a Jak and Daxter crossover or Easter egg?
Yes, actually. This is secret. This was originally going to be the launch title for the PlayStation 4 that Nintendo and Sony were going to co-produce.
Right.
But, you know, things just got weird after a while.
Wow. So all your buddies were like Daxter and co, and Donkey was going to be Jackson. Well, missed opportunity. This would have been a great Jak and Daxter game.
But yeah, in general, the backgrounds for the silhouette levels are always really, really well done. Because, you know, that's what you're going to be looking at for 90% of them, because the front of the screen will either be really dark or, you know, it'll be kind of be blacked out specifically to emphasize the background.
they're really good and interesting and unique, and it almost makes me wish that the rest of the game was a little more stylized, because the rest of the game doesn't strike me as particularly unique or brilliant. I mean, the graphics are fine. They're fine. They're serviceable. They work. They look good, but like that background with all the phosphorescent sea life, like that was really cool looking. And I mean, maybe we need the more normal levels to make them stick out, but it kind of just makes me wish that we had more of that.
I don't know. I feel like the silhouette. I mean, there's typically speaking, there's maybe 3 or 4 silhouette levels in the game, roughly like 1 every 2 worlds.
Right.
And so I mean, I think they did a pretty good job of spacing them out enough that it wasn't, you know, if you could go down a checklist like, oh, that's this world's minecart level and that's this world's silhouette level. And I think they did a good job spacing them out so you don't really get that sense.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be going back off screen to get that K, because that's a little embarrassing. We need all the Kong letters on all the levels. So, just assume that I did that. I definitely did that.
Hey, good. I rate 8, Miss Abyss. The naming conventions aren't inspiring confidence in these level names. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah, I would definitely agree. Retro is no Rare. Let's not mince words here. They do a good job, but at least it's a lot better than it was in Returns. But
what were the levels like? Green Forest, Yellow Desert.
The levels were about the same, but the worlds in Returns were like literally forest, cave, and it's like the levels were okay. They were mostly alliteration, but like yeah, like the worlds were like, ugh.
I just feel like don't bother giving it a name at that point. We know it's a forest. We have eyes. We can read that visually. You just don't name it. But like we're past the NES, right? When nobody put any effort into naming things. We don't have to say castle level anymore. Oh yeah, I can see Dixie's hair acting as a propeller.
Yeah, it's actually not 100. It's actually not necessary there, just because otherwise there would be no way to proceed without Dixie.
Right.
But yeah, that's how it would work.
I rate 8. I get it. Is an octopus, and octopus has 8 legs. Fun fact about the word octopus: the plural. I hear many people say octopi, and yeah, that's fine. That's correct. And I hear some people say octopuses, and then some people are like, no, octopi is right. They're actually both right, because English, and that's how it works. And octopodes is also correct. Like, those are all grammatically correct. And I had a conversation with some people. Those are all right, because English. So if someone tells you that one is right, you don't listen to him, man. Just be like, hey, man, I'm just going to say whatever. It's my fun fact for the day. So now when you're done watching this LP and someone asks, what did you learn? You can be like, man, I learned how to pluralize octopus.
Yeah, learned about octopodes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand why this octopus is so angry with Donkey Kong.
I think, like most things in this game, it pretty much comes down to DK is just kind of intruding in their home territory, and they just want him gone.
Fair. Oh, Speaking of Donkey Kong as a war criminal, you've been going through several levels just murdering wildlife, and it's not like you're killing these fish and then eating them for sustenance. You're just killing them. So maybe it's trying to stop you in your horrific ways before you can do any more damage.
Ah, so what you're saying is that this this octopus is in fact actually the guardian of these seas.
Yes. That is what I am inferring.
I see. I think that's worth some debate.
Yeah.
What's not worth some debate is the quality of my skills, which is incredibly deficient.
Please debate Artix's skills in the thread. The winner of the debate will receive an avatar purchased by 9gear Crow. Thank you in advance, 9gear Crow.
But yeah, almost all of my mistakes come from the fact that I'm trying to go fast because, as you saw earlier, if the ink catches up to you, that is an instant death.
Toxic ink makes sense,
So I'm trying to go fast even though I really don't have the pattern down, so I'm just kind of winging it, and it usually ends very poorly.
Right. Toxic ink, that's like literally something out of a sci-fi horror movie. Like, oh, these young people were swimming on a beach and everything was fine until toxic ink burnt their flesh off. And just saying. I'm just saying.
And so our final act in this level is to murder this octopus, which we will do by dropping these mines on it. You cannot avoid this. If you do not drop all of the mines, he will break the barrels and instantly kill you. It is the only way to make the goal appear.
Okay, one, could the octopus hurt you while you were doing that?
Yeah, like if you take too long, the octopus will smash the barrels and you'll die.
Okay. Two, the angles at which those mines were swinging look frustrating. Like, I'm glad they at least had that sparkle, that shine spark or what have you, so you knew, like, hey, this is the point when you have to hit it, because otherwise that would be frustrating.